Yep, we're slamming the prices on hoods. D stands for darn right it's a Dodge. I didn't realize this is an Indy Hurst shifter. Well, cool. So we can be a shifting up here, but we'll figure that out as it comes. Earl Shives, $14.95 or something kind of paint job, I guess. But what we got here is a leaning tower of power. D is for darn right good truck, where every episode is filled with worthless information. Welcome to RCindustry. Hey everybody, welcome back to RCindustry, where every episode is filled with worthless information, like this 1974 Dodge. Let's take a look at what we got. Now you probably saw in the earlier video that we drug this home in a rainstorm, and that was that same storm that went through northern Kentucky and central Tennessee and really did some damage, but we weren't down in that, praise the Lord, but we did. Would you put some exhaust on that truck? It's too loud. Anyway, we did, make it through there. I didn't want to drive it back because of the tires, and we only had a 2-gallon can under the hood for gas, which would have probably been doable. But anyway, let's just kind of take a look and see what we got here, because this thing is, well, it's cherry. D is for darn right good truck. Let's just see if we can get the hood open here. Okay. Well, what we got here is a leaning tower of power. Okay, guys and gals, before we get too carried away here, this thing's pretty well preserved. I mean, we still got the sticker under the hood here, so it's got the VIN number and the model, and I don't know what that reads because I can't see it. But I'm going to try to preserve this as best I can. If any of you have got any ideas on how to do that, well, get a hold of me and let me know, or make a comment below or something. But so it looks like, let's see, we'll start down here at the bottom because I'm dyslexic, so I go backwards. Pine white is the original color, and that's got to be a lot better than this poop brown. And then we had 13 by 15 4 PC. I don't know, I'm going to check. I don't know what none of that means. That's springs on the rear for 1350 pounds. Wheels are 15 by 5 by 5s, but we don't have those wheels. Although when we get to the back, you'll see the spare tire still there. I don't think it's ever been used. Alternators are 41 amp. It's a 6-cylinder HCH10CL, which is a 225. Leaning tower of power, yeah, something like that. Chrysler 838, 3,300 pound. I don't know if that's the axle. I have no idea. Date and time 73, so it was made in 73, and I can't make out that. Let's see. It's got a 48 amp battery, green trim for interior, and that would be correct because this thing's been white. And spare is the same as the front, and it's got a spring front. Shows the pounds for the springs in the front. I don't know, I just think that's kind of cool. I want to try to preserve that best I can. And you can see it's just a mess in here. I mean, all this, I'm going to clean all this up. This needs to be white again. And I mean, there's overspray here. Whoever painted this, it's probably like a Earl Shives, $14.95 or something kind of paint job, I guess. But it's got a set of air horns on it. I'm sure those are factory. Here's the pump for it, and you know the hoses are kind of rotted, but I bet we could, you know, make that like brand new. It's got these groovy fog lights on the front. No, they're driving lights, not fog lights. But yeah, they're pretty cool. So big thing here is this exhaust manifold is cracked right here, and I know I've reached out to a couple of you. One of you says you might have one. Somebody's got one down in Virginia that I'm, you know, if I have to go that far, I have to go that far. But I'm gonna try to get one locally if I can. Exhaust manifold there. So you know, pretty just standard truck. You know, it's no power brakes, no power steering, 3-speed on the column. It was on the column, but I'll show you more about that when we get inside. So under here, you know, of course, one of the things I want to do is take these terminal blocks loose and clean all the connections, because all you Chrysler people know that this wire right here, this big one coming from the battery that goes through there, it corrodes and gets hot, and then if it don't corrode and start getting amperage and overheating there, it does up at the amp gauge. So I want to clean all those terminals and get all that taken care of. This is the electronic ignition box, and it's a leaking juice at the bottom, so that's probably going to have to be replaced. It does run, but it doesn't run real great, and you know, that's probably a lot of the problem right there. Don't know what that is. I'm assuming that is the switch for the air horns, you know, aftermarket stuff here. So anyway, let's take a peek inside right here. First of all, when we got the truck, the window was down, and so I had to Tadlock's tool shed that was there with me, and so Kent and I, we got the panel off and we got it back on the track. It had fell off the track, and I don't know why, but this bolt here that goes in here is what holds that track in place. So somehow it got off track somewhere in the years. But water, wherever this thing was setting, must have got water in it, because you know, you can see right here that we got a big delete here, and I ain't pulled this back to see how bad it is, but you know, she's a pretty good sized hole there. But you know, we'll just put that right back for now. As it said in the thing on the sticker up there, we got green trim, so everything is green. And I've got the door panel and everything. It's right there. I took that off, and all of the parts for that are up here. So as I said earlier, this thing has got a 3-speed, or it was 3-speed on the column right here, and it's got the aftermarket non-factory oil pressure gauge there, and we got a tachometer up here. But here's the cool thing about this truck, I think. This is what sold it for me. We got this floor shifter. We'll just be running the gears on that. I'm thinking it'd be pretty cool if we cut that off about right there and raise her way up here somewhere, you know, so we can be a shifting up here. But we'll figure that out as it comes. But you know, for something as old as it is, it's just got one crack up here on this, and you can remember the 75 I had. Remember how it was all just disintegrated here? So this is still in pretty good shape. So that tells me it's been sitting inside a barn or something. And you know, the sun visors are still in good shape, and the mirror's not too bad, you know, and it's getting some wear in it, but not bad. And got some kind of tape up here on the windshield. That looks like an antenna was taped on there. Yeah, probably was. Let's go on the other side and we'll peek into the glove box. Show you more. I didn't realize this is an Indy Hurst shifter. Wow, cool. Okay, well, let's see. Well, we know we got the fuse block there. Let's see how melted that is. Usually those things are destroyed. Well, I'm gonna have to have a tool to get that out. What's this here? Got some fancy lug nuts. Oh yeah, here's the key thing for the fancy lug nuts that's on these wheels. We'll look at them in a minute. There's a body plug of some kind. And spare fuses. I never seen a Dodge yet where you didn't have to have spare fuses. There's the sig lighter, so that's cool. Papers here. Let's see when the last time this thing was registered. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Well, oh, that was the title. The last time the title was issued was in 2022. So, yeah. So that it wasn't licensed at that point. It doesn't look like so. Oh, it's pretty cool. The tool stowaway diagram is still on the dash or in the glove box lid there. So there's that, and you know, 255 air here. Drive 55 and slide that baby right open. Let's see what else we got. Let's see if our floorboards are bad here. I ain't looked. Yeah, well, they're not as bad as the other side, but they definitely got some issues. And I don't know what that line there is about. What's that? There's a line that runs down through there and hooks up to something back here, and I bet that's a fuel line that runs inside the cab. Looks like we got a garden hose back there behind that, but I can't reach it to get it out of there, so we'll have to do a clean out on the truck one day. We're gonna have to do a little, you know, little attention to detail here, and you know, kind of work that back in there, and you know, fix that a little bit. And the driver's side's a little worn, not bad. Now I did notice here that, you know, somebody's hit this with something pretty hard, and it's been recent because it's not even rusty over there where it hit. But that's bowed in there pretty good, and you can see right here it's coming here this way. So we're gonna have to put a porta power or something in there and push that thing back out. But we can do that. This is why I didn't want to drive it home, because these tires are, they're bad. I mean, tell you now. Woo, let's just don't even look at that. Well, here's them fancy rims, probably from the 80s. I'm gonna guess late 70s, early 80s. They're a chrome wagon wheel, and they got them fancy locks on them. Yeah, they're, what is that, an S in the center cap? I'm not sure what brand that is. The front one, the center cap's missing on. This one is there, but I'll have to research that and find out what kind of rim that is and see if I can get some of those. I like these rims. I mean, I want it to look just like it does. I'm gonna get me some wide tires. You can see that one's got a big crack right there too. I mean, they're just waiting to, you know, pop. That's what you call a true May pop. So, okay, so the last time this thing was plated, let's just get down here and see. Johnson County. 1992. Can you see that right there? Yeah. So this is an Indiana truck. Expired July of 92. So July of 92 was the last time that was plated. Now this thing's had a pretty nice Tahoe cover on it. You know, we got the ribs went across right there, but the guy said he looked at the auction in the barn where this was sitting and he didn't find that. Now the gas tank has already been taken out. Let me show you here, because when he tried to use it, you know, it's just rusted clear off. So luckily the tank is plastic. I can clean it out. Now it's got the typical crack in it where all of these Dodges, where that clamp is at, it cracks right there every time. So it's easier to fix when it's off. I fixed them with it on the vehicle, but so I'm going to take my plastic welder in an upcoming video, and we'll weld this crack up, and then we'll coat it with some fiberglass to strengthen it a little. So because it, you know, when you clamp this back down, you know, it'll flex some. And of course we got to get a new one of these, because you know, she's a no worky. I mean, this thing is completely gone. The float, I mean, it ain't even there. So and it, I can't really, you can't see down in there, or I mean I can see in the sunlight, but the video doesn't show it. But that thing is just full of, you know, varnish or something. Not sure what that is. I'm assuming that's the vent, and then of course the filler is here. This tank mounts on the other side of the truck, and this, but it fills on this side, and there's a tube that runs all the way across and hooks up to that. Craziest design I ever saw. Does come with a spare rim and tire. That one's flat. That's another reason we didn't try to drive it home, because I could have put that one on, but she taking no air, so that one's not going to work. So, and then it looks like it's had a nice CB antenna here at one time. Some kind of, get out there and talk to the truckers kind of thing. But overall, it's a Dodge D100 Custom. This is one of the options that I like. This is a factory mirror yet. Now, unfortunately, it's in really bad shape. But, this is the kind of mirror that came on it, and I like that mirror. I hope I can find another one to fix that one. This one's pretty typical across here on the other Dodges I've had, where this thing is really rusted up here. So we're gonna have to work on that, get that sealed back up. The windshield is in good shape, so shouldn't have to pull it. That's why I want to try to fix it with the windshield in. And it's a little beat up. It looks like a dent right there. I know we got a dent in this bird bath hood right here, so something probably fell on this in the barn, I'm guessing. This is an aftermarket antenna. We didn't really talk about it, but in here you can tell this was, since we read up front that it didn't come with a radio, and this is an aftermarket cassette tape deck thing, whatever here, so we'll have to kind of see if that works at all. I somehow doubt it. Yeah, this is not really mounted. There's a little clock or a little thing that don't work anymore. So yeah, looks like that's where the CB used to be mounted, right there. And that brake pedal sticks way up there, don't it? I mean, that thing is yeah, okay. Then we got all kinds of switches over here on the dash, and there's one there and one here and one here, and I don't know what none of that does yet. So, well, I know this is just a quick little video, but kind of wanted to get you a walk around on here. This is a project I guess we're gonna fix up and take to the No Name Nationals. Now, we still may take the LTD down there too, because I'm wanting to do some stuff to that and maybe make it a little quicker down the track. If I could add I don't know, 10 horsepower to that thing with a 4-barrel carburetor and intake, that'd put her right up there with about 165 horse. I mean, for 4,000 pounds, that ain't bad. I don't know what this 225 puts out, but I'll have to research it. But it's probably at least 90 or maybe 100. I don't know. 3-speed jamming on the floor. It might be kind of cool. So anyway, drop me a comment down there. Tell me your thoughts on the old Dodge here. D stands for darn right it's a Dodge. So anyway, boy, my noses are running. Gosh, it's cold out here and I've got no coat on. So anyway, hope you enjoy the new year we're into, and got lots of stuff going on. If you have any comments, be sure and leave them. Thanks for subscribing. You can check us out on all kinds of platforms. I mean, we're on the Facebook, and we're on the X, and we're on Instagram. But to be honest with you, a few months ago, maybe half a year ago, that thing kind of changed, and I ain't sit down and messed with it long enough to figure out how it operates. But anyway, you can find us on there, and I don't know, we're on MeWe. Yeah, you can go on MeWe. RCindustry. Yeah, that's what we are. RCindustry. The Rick Curtis Industry. Yeah, Rick from Rick's Rusty Rex. Yeah, you know that. So anyway, I've bloviated long enough. Thanks for watching. Be sure and like and share. And as always, we're making it just like brand used here, baby. Yep, we're slamming the prices on hoods. Run, Tallulah, run!
Hi, baby.